Hey guys, it's Cameron again. I wanted to make a video about Art Fight because I really like Art Fight and I get really excited about it every year. If you like it, then you could consider liking and subscribing. Anyway, let's just get into it. So the first thing that I started with was updating references and designing a new character. So this is Elias. I actually did a lot less updating references this year than I feel like I usually do, or maybe it's just that I think about updating a lot of my characters and I usually don't get around to it because other parts of updating my art fight are just such an undertaking. But Elias definitely needed an update. His last reference was from 2020, so it was getting pretty rough. Poor Elias barely gets drawn too. Like, I feel like I only ever draw him for art fight. But he finally has like a bit of lore now, and that's because I did this drawing, so I really should get around to updating more of my characters. This references isn't really, or like this drawing isn't really great as a reference, so I did like a crappy little thing later that we'll see. But yes, Elias is like my dragon character. He's a goofy little guy. I don't have like a ton of set lore for him. I just know he's a guardian of Earth's moon. I think that there's probably a bunch of them, like guardians of moons in whatever story this is. My sister and I were talking about it. She kind of like tricked me into making lore for him, but I didn't write any of it down, so I should probably do that. Yes, anyway, I still really love his colors from his original design. Like, I don't think there was anything I wanted to change, I just wanted to update the art. Oh yeah, the line art was gonna be really annoying on that tail, and it was. Doing line art for really long tails is not something I'm great at. Yeah, I am so sorry for how much rambling is gonna be in here. I did not do a full script. There's gonna be a lot of stuttering. Anyway. Again, yes, his colors make me really happy. His design was honestly pretty good for being from 2020, so it didn't take a lot of work to do his reference. It was just, updating the art itself, because it was, like, more than time to do that. I definitely, again, think that I could have done a smarter drawing in terms of the fact that this is meant to be a reference for other artists, but, oh well. Which reminds me that I will explain more about Art Fight itself later on in the video, so if you don't really know what Art Fight is or things like that, then I do talk about it more later. I guess I could try to explain some of his lore. I'm not used to having lore for characters. I'm definitely a character artist, but the whole story aspect doesn't usually happen for me. But yes, again, Elias is a guardian of the moon, and his species, they're kind of born into whatever moon they're gonna guard. And I think the idea is that these dragons already had a lot of bias against Earth. The reasoning is still kind of being decided on, and so he's kind of a bit of an outcast in terms of the other dragons. I think. And I think this will take place in a time when people are, like, in a kind of sci-fi world where people are starting to migrate to the moon, just because I think it would be interesting. It would give me more to work with in terms of characters and stuff. I could put some humans in there, but I don't know, I haven't decided on anything for sure, and it's not like I'll write about it, because writing's not really my thing, but it's been fun to try and decide like where this character fits into his own story, because I don't usually do that, and I should do that more. I have a lot of characters that I've never done that for. I used to make characters I used to be a part of like the adopts community on Amino, and when I had like 300 characters or something, which is ridiculous. That is completely unnecessary. I do not have that many now, and now I try to focus on my own character designs, partially because it's good practice, and then partially just because I just feel better doing that. I think it's like comforting to have my own characters that I've made myself, and that's definitely helped limit me on how many characters I have, but I still have a lot of them. Like, there's still an excessive amount, but I just find it really fun to make characters, And while I only draw like a couple of them a lot, I still draw all of them sometimes, which is better than nothing. If nothing else, I draw all of them for art fight usually, so I feel like it's fine. It could be worse. They could be getting a lot less attention than they are. The other interesting fact about Elias is he actually has like a pretty nasty scar under his skull mask. I've still never drawn it, and I need to, but I decided that was the reason he has the mask on. I don't know how he got it, I don't know where it came from, I just know that he's got some serious scars underneath it. I just like giving my characters facial scars, to be honest. This was when I was having a lot of fun using this random Procreate brush to do backgrounds, and when I was putting the speed paint in here, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that brush, so I need to start using it again. Anyway, this is the finished piece of Elias. I'm glad I finally did that. And then this is what I was talking about when I said that I had to do something else for his design because that drawing wasn't very good. This, I was being as lazy as possible, which probably isn't preferable, but it helps get like his colors and patterning across a tiny bit. It really only took a couple minutes. It was very short, but I felt better making it. And then I designed Rex, and I love Rex. I think he's shown up in a lot of the videos I've made so far. Like the draw with me that I made, the only one I've made so far, Rex was the biggest drawing that I made. He was so easy to design. Like, I didn't have to look at any references or anything. I just started sketching and then he existed, which was wonderful for me. That does not happen, especially lately. And especially because I'm not really used to drawing animals. Like, somehow I'm better at drawing animals than people, even though, like, I don't feel like I draw animals that much. Apparently I do, because it's easier. But what it really is that my eyes aren't as trained in terms of drawing animals as they are with humans. Like, when I draw a human and it looks bad, I can recognize it easier than if I draw an animal and it looks bad. I don't care if these drawings of Rex are actually awful. They're so cute to me, and I love him, and I was sad to make him sad. And I don't know, his design just came out really easy, which was awesome, and he's really fun to draw. So I draw him a lot when I don't know what else to draw. So he gets a lot more love than my other characters lately, but that's okay. He deserves it. He's such a good boy. He doesn't really have any lore or anything. I figure he's just a little guy, you know, he's just a little dog. He's got a little bit of cyborg in him, which I don't really, like, I could make lore, but I'm just not really there yet. Making lore isn't really my thing, and so I'm ill-prepared to do it on, like, just on a whim. Like, again, with Elias, the only reason he has some lore now is because my sister just tricked me into talking about him a lot, which worked very effectively. But I don't usually sit there and rave about my own characters. Maybe now that I've got a channel, I'll be doing it more. Maybe I'll, like, accidentally start creating lore for them because of it, which would be cool. It would be cool if they had their own stories going on. But as of right now, I think that he's kind of just no thoughts had empty. He's probably just a protective little guy. He's clearly, to me, some kind of, like, hound or sniffer dog, you know, like a hunting dog. But that's kind of the extent of what's going on. I didn't look at any dog breeds, so it's not specific. He's just a dog. He's probably kind of a mutt, but I don't know. I love him. Because, again, he was just so easy to design. Yes, line art takes forever when you do multiple drawings on one page, and maybe it's because I am really specific with my line art. Usually I actually really like doing line art, but when I have, like, several drawings of one character on a single page, it gets really exhausting. The funny thing about me is that I actually hate coloring and really like doing line art, and I don't know if that's normal. I feel like usually it's the other way around for people, but that's just how I am. My favorite part of art is shading. Like, sketching can be fun, but oh, I love shading. It doesn't always go well, but it's always fun. So it's, like, my favorite thing. The thing about doing all these character references is that I didn't have to do any shading, which was, like, happy and sad. I think I did a little bit of shading on Rex's sheet, but I'm not actually gonna, like, use the reference with shading for anything. It was mostly just for fun, because obviously if you're making a character reference, you don't want any shading on there. because it can just kind of confuse the artist. It'll make it harder for them to discern what colors they should be using. So it's important to try not to shade your reference sheets, and since this was going on ArtFight, obviously it's better to not use the shaded version. Plus, I realized after I finished the shading that it kind of made, like, his ears are going to end up being 2 different colors. You probably already saw. I don't remember. Yes, you already saw that his ears are 2 different colors, probably. Whatever. His ears are going to be 2 different colors. And the shading made it so that they looked kind of the same value-wise, and obviously that didn't really work out for me, because it just made it hard to tell that they're 2 different colors, which is a great example of how it can be difficult for artists to tell what the colors should be when drawing your character if there's shading on the reference sheet. So I really just did the shading for fun. I don't even know if I sent the shaded reference to, like, my friends and stuff. It'll exist for us. You'll know it was there, and I'll know it happened, and that might be it. I just really like shading. I'm so sorry for the amount of times that I say I don't understand. I didn't realize I say it so much. It's quite the buffer for me when I'm speaking, apparently. I'm gonna have to work on that, because I just didn't know that happens. Anyway, I gave him both a bandana and a collar, because I couldn't decide. They were both really cute. I think that I'm probably a bigger fan of the collar. I like the color of the collar more than I like the color of the bandana, but I think that the bandana is always cute. Like, on any dog, bandanas are adorable. This is around when I started really struggling with the background. One thing I'm awful at when doing character drawings is figuring out the background. I never know what to do for backgrounds, but I figured it out to the best of my abilities, and I think he's pretty cute. Then we have section 2, which is updating and making character profiles. I get so tired. This is so tedious. Like, it needs to happen, because every time I look at the old character profile pictures, I'm like, oh, why did I do it like that? You know, art improvement and whatever. And it's also like a fun way to gauge my improvement every year. You know, like it's a good opportunity to do redraws. But I was adding several characters to ArtFight this year, and I don't know if I removed anyone. I think I did. I think I removed like 2 characters or something. But I was adding multiple, was barely removing any, so I didn't do every character this year. I'm trying to spare myself, because usually what happens is I do everything in the months leading up to ArtFight, and then I have art block for the first 3 weeks, and then I just start doing art like a madman for the last week. And I didn't want to do that this year. I think that if I, like, take my time a little bit more, then, you know, I'll actually get somewhere. I'll be able to do more attacks. Anyway, this is Meteorite. He's one of my favorite characters. I've had him for a really long time. He's just a goofy guy. His eyes kind of dictate what his personality is like. They kind of can go into his eye sockets and whatever. He's just really, really easy to draw, so I like him a lot. And then we have Elias again. You already heard about Elias. I had changed his horns, I think, is the only thing I changed about his design, so it was a little difficult to get those into perspective because I'm not used to doing that. But for the most part, these profile pictures weren't too awful to make. Every year I struggle with some of them, and every year it's different ones. I can never struggle with the same pictures. Axel came out pretty good this year. I think that this one came out pretty well. He's just a crazy, cocky little guy. He's definitely not a good person. I said that to my sister, and she was like, no, and I was like, yeah, he's pretty evil. But he's really fun to draw. I don't draw him that much, though. He gets drawn about as much as Elias does. Poor Axel. He's definitely evil, though. I think he was a part of the circus at some point. I don't know. Then we have Lilith, who was very kindly gifted to me by my cousin. If you want to check them out, they've got, I have their ArtFight linked to the character profile on my ArtFight, so you can find them that way. I love Lilith. I redraw Lilith every year from, like, a different drawing anyway, so. And then we have Logan. I love Logan. Logan is so pretty. Also designed by the same cousin. I churned her into an elf, though. At first it was because I was obsessed with elves, and now it's because I can't go back. So she's an elf. Sometimes she has armor and a sword, and I love her for that. But I don't think I've put any armor versions on Artfight because I'm not good at armor. But yes, she's really pretty and I like her a lot. And then we have Reese, who is a goofy little boy girl person bird. He has wings for arms, and I haven't decided on her personality at all. I just know that they're, there. I haven't decided on a whole lot for them because he's a new character. So it's difficult for me to decide on anything for her just yet. But I do like her a lot. The colors came out good. This is Mio. Mio gave me so much trouble. I thought we were friends. Mio is one of my oldest characters. Sure, I've redesigned them several times, but come on, we've been buddies and pals for so long. I struggled so much, but at this point I should have taken a break and come back a different day, but I just kind of pushed through. I don't think it came out that bad. I just don't know why Mio did that to me. And then Diego wasn't any better. Again, I've had this character for so long. Sure, I've redesigned him multiple times, but we're supposed to be friends. I feel like my characters are rioting against me. And again, it didn't come out that bad, but I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it, it's that I didn't like making it, and so now looking at it, it just doesn't look that good to me. But I got it done. You can tell that this speed paint is a little bit longer than the other ones, which shows that I was struggling. In the end, it's fine, it's not the worst one I've ever made. I definitely struggled with the background color on this one, and I don't think I like the choice I made, but I don't feel like fixing it, so it's just the way that it is now. Now it's just like that. Then we have Rex. I love Rex. Rex is just a goofy little guy. He was pretty easy. He's always pretty easy. It's such a simple design, and I'm happy I did that for myself. Most of the designs I make are honestly pretty simple, because I get exhausted doing huge designs. But I love Rex. I think that he's adorable, and he's baby, and I love him. This one came out pretty good. And then we have my Sona. Somehow this is one of my least favorites, which is messed up. This is my Sona. This should be one of the best ones. I draw him all the time. He's my favorite character to draw, to the point where there was a time when I had an art block and couldn't draw him, and I had a meltdown over it. I felt how am I supposed to survive without drawing him? And then this came out as one of the worst ones. It's not that bad. I just don't love it. But anyway, there's Cyanide. This one came out so cute. I really struggled with it at first, I felt but oh my gosh, it came out so cute. And I usually struggle so much to draw Bowie. 9 times out of 10 I draw her and it's just my least favorite thing. But this was adorable, and it's my favorite picture I made this year, and I love her so much for this. She was my friend this year. Then we have Jordan. This is probably the worst one I made this year, which is Jordan's never the easiest to draw, but she's never the hardest. I think it's partially because I did it front facing, and her hair, she has Sonic hair, which wasn't purposeful when I designed her. I don't play the Sonic games or anything, but I've decided that she just loves Sonic so much that she went to her barber, showed them a picture of Sonic, and their barber was like, yeah, I got you. And so now she has this hair. But I don't know, I love her anyway. She's really fun to draw, generally. Okay, but yes, here's the section on updating the site and everything. So now I'll explain what Artfight actually is. So Artfight is a yearly event for artists where you draw each other's characters, and every drawing you make earns your team a certain amount of points. So let's say you do a shaded full body, then that's a certain amount of points. If you were to do just a lined butt or half body or bust, then that would be less points, but also a designated amount of points, right? And then people can attack you, you can do revenge, you can start a revenge chain, you can do friendly fire, that's worth less points, but you can do that. The teams haven't been announced yet this year, so I actually haven't finished updating everything yet. I still have to update my profile picture. I'm gonna design a character based off of whatever the teams are this year, because I like to do that every year. And then I'll have to fill out the card thing that you usually get. But I figured that I had done enough that I could make a video now. Yes. I don't know, I love Artfight. Artfight is super fun. I've been doing it for years. It's my favorite event. I always look forward to it. If anybody wants a more in-depth tutorial of how these things work, there are tons of really good videos on YouTube already. I'm not super articulate, so I can't like explain the site itself super well, but it's very fun. If it interests you, it's definitely worth looking into, because it's one of my favorite things to do. And if anybody wants to attack me, then you see my username like on here. Like, it's the same username as my YouTube channel, and I will happily attack back. I do revenges, like I'll attack back like 95% of the time. The only times I don't is if I'm dealing with a pretty intense art block. And it would be fun to like do some more revenges this year, because last year I mostly focused on first attacks because I didn't get a whole lot of attacks, which was like totally cool. I don't care. I just like drawing other people's characters, because art fight is, for me, like a huge chance for improvement. I usually improve a lot during art fight because I get super experimental, which is really fun. So I'm really excited for it this year. Yes, I don't know, it's just so fun. During one of the, like last year or something, no, last year I fixed my ratio. The year before, my cousin attacked me so much, my ratio was in shambles. I couldn't attack back that many times. They attacked me so many times that I finally fixed it last year, and now I'm scared of them. I'm worried they're gonna do it again. So I'm definitely gonna have to do a lot of attacks this year to try and keep my ratio looking nice. Yeah, anyway, I really love art fight, which I've already said several times. It's true. It's like one of my favorite events during the year, because it's just a chance to like get artists together, like draw other people's characters. I can like draw things that I normally wouldn't. It's super fun. I genuinely really look forward to it. Things have like changed with the staff and everything, and I don't know anything about that, but it seems like everything's still gonna be the same as it usually is. Like, I think that they're planning to change a couple things, but I don't remember the details, so I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's super fun. I'm just kind of like updating all my characters at this point, you know, in the video. I accidentally used the wrong sheet for cyanide. Like, it had my like super big watermark over it, and I didn't want to do that. So, like an old watermark too, from when I was using a different username. So I've gone back and fixed it now. There's a couple of things that I've done outside of this video, because there's only like so much that needs to go into this video. Honestly, I probably didn't even need this much footage of me updating characters, especially because I talk as if I'm a squirrel. I talk so fast, but I just thought that it could be interesting to like keep all this in. I don't know, maybe it'll be really, really boring. Yeah, I had like a lot of characters to add this year, like a lot of them, and I didn't have to do that to myself, but I did, because I'm like that. So yeah, I will probably end up taking a couple of these characters off next year. There are some characters that always stay on my art fight, like Arson Pog. Axel's always been on there, Travis has always been on there, and obviously you guys haven't seen all of those characters. But if you want to, you could go to my art fight, you'll see them, you'll see who I'm talking about. I think Bowie's always been on there, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, there are definitely characters that get taken off. Anyway, that's me updating all of that, and that's the end of the video. This took a really long time to make, but it was really fun to do. Hopefully I can start making some more digital art videos. It was fun to like make all the like section drawings and everything. I don't know, I had fun making this video. I hope that you guys had fun watching it. Feel free to like and subscribe and check out my other stuff, and I hope that you have a good day or night or whatever time it is. Bye!